Hello guys, welcome back to World Breaking News. WWE has issued an announcement on WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Naomi suspension, Raw and Norfolk, VI. As we've mentioned, it turned into said via way of means of more than one re-assets that Banks turned into disappointed with WWE innovative plans at this night's Raw, so she met with WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon to vent her frustration. After Banks and McMahon reportedly refused to budge on their stance, Banks walked out of the Scope Arena, and Naomi followed. Banks turned into reportedly now no longer glad with the unique deliberate Raw primary occasion, which turned into a six-pack challenge to decide the WWE Hell in a Cell opponent for Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. The fit turned into to function Banks, Naomi, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Nikki Ash, and Doudrop, and the winner turned into reportedly scheduled to be Naomi. WWE ended up bringing up how Banks and Naomi left Raw, then shot angles to installation Lynch vs Asuka with inside the primary occasion. That fit noticed Asuka get the win to grow to be the new #1 contender to Belair. In an update, WWE issued an announcement in reaction to media inquiries this night and claimed that Banks and Naomi approached WWE Talent Relations head John Laurinaitis to whinge approximately how they had been treated. The announcement in addition claims that Banks and Naomi had been uncomfortable with inside the ring within their deliberate fighters with inside the six-pack challenge, and they exceeded over their WWE Women's Tag Team titles to Laurinaitis, then walked out. When Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived on the area this afternoon, they had been knowledgeable in their participation with inside the primary occasion of Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE Head of Talent Relations John Laurinaitis' workplace with their suitcases in hand, located their tag group championship belts on his table and walked out. They claimed they weren't reputable sufficient as tag group champions. And despite the fact that they'd 8 hours to rehearse and assemble their fit, they claimed they had been uncomfortable with inside the ring within their fighters, despite the fact that they'd had suits with the ones people with inside the beyond, and not using a consequence. Monday Night Raw is a scripted state TV show, whose characters are anticipated to carry out the necessities in their contract. We remorse we had been not able to deliver, as advertised, this night's primary occasion. It's exciting to observe how WWE stated Banks and Naomi approached Laurinaitis in the course of the Raw broadcast, even as different re-assets have stated they left earlier than Raw hit the air, or because it turned into occurring the air. We mentioned earlier than the way it turned into stated on Raw, that Banks and Naomi left Raw in the course of a section to installation the Asuka vs Lynch primary occasion. Corey Graves additionally referenced the scenario on observation as he stated they unprofessionally left. There's no phrase but on what's next and if that is simply one massive storyline or what's going to take place to the WWE Tag Team titles. Sasha Banks Monday night reportedly had a question with the CEO of WWE for him to permit her go re-assets declare Banks need to go away WWE for good. However we can preserve you updated guys, please subscribe for more updates, see you next time.